So I finally watched Tina Mabry's Mississippi Damned, which I had been intending to watch since it got on Netflix last year. But I read that it was really bleak, and so I felt like I needed to be in like the right mood to watch it. And then I kept not being in the right mood, and then I was like, "Damn it, Mariah, just watch this damn movie." Um, so I watched it, and so this is for both Black History Month and 52 films by women for the week, and it is very bleak. It's a very bleak film, but it's really well made, really wonderfully constructed, really complex sort of interweaving of all of these different characters because it's this very close knit family. I don't really want to like talk about the plot because it is very complicated and spoiler heavy, and I don't want to spoiler. I don't want to spoil any of the twists in it. But essentially, it takes place partly in 1986, partly in 1998, with this family living in Mississippi, and they're in sort of economic dire straits, but they're also sort of varying amounts of abuse from verbal and emotional to physical to sexual throughout all of the different characters. And so the early portion is these four kids that are young and sort of trying to just live, but their parents are kind of a nightmare. And then it cuts forward and some shit goes down. And then it cuts forward to 1998 and the ramifications of all the shit that went down. And now all these kids are grown up and still trying to move on with their life. And it's one of those sort of like big sweeping family saga type movies. But it never ever feels cheap, and it never feels like what do they call it? Poverty porn. It feels real and it feels honest. And I think that's because a lot of it was based on Mabry's own life and people she knew, and so it's coming from a place of deep understanding as opposed to like from the outside. It's beautifully shot by Bradford Young. He's one of the best cinematographers working today, and it just is gorgeously shot. It's got a great cast, most of which were people I didn't really recognize, but in the second half of the film, it has Tessa Thompson, and she is just one of the greatest actresses working right now. I can't wait to see her get in more and more films because she is such a unique screen presence and she has such expressive eyes. Oh, I love her eyes. This film also has an LGBT aspect to it. There is a lesbian, sort of a tragic lesbian aspect, but it's the South and you know, in the 80s, and so that was sort of sad. It was one of the sadder. There's a lot of sad things that happen in this movie, but that was the one that really sort of got me. Mabry also co-wrote the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, which I watched last year. It's directed by Jamie Babbitt. She's also helping to produce Queen Sugar, which is the first TV show coming from Ava DuVernay. I just read the book, and then I was looking at the cast list, and I can already see the sort of things they're changing. So I'm sort of excited to see it as a TV show and see what bits of this book they took and what bits they left. That's always fun. That's going to be on OWN either later this year or next year, early next year. I'm not sure. I have to get cable by then because I must watch it. So this was, so this has a very like depressing story behind why it never got distribution, and sort of this myth has it that came out the same year as Precious, and it was like she was told, you know, Hollywood can support one sort of depressing black film for the year, and so Precious got it, and this one didn't. And take that as you will. So it finally got released on Netflix because of Ava DuVernay's Array releasing and last year, and now it's on Netflix, so you should watch it. Thank you array for getting all these films onto Netflix so people can actually watch them. This film doesn't have very many reviews attached to it, which is depressing, probably because it only played in festivals. But a lot of you critics have Netflix, and you can watch it and review it now. Nothing's stopping you, well, except for getting paid. But you can get not paid. I don't know. That's a bummer. Bloggers who do it for the lols, you can review it, and although you will not laugh during this movie, this is a bleak movie. You should review it, is basically what I'm trying to say. Watch it, review it, tell people about it. It's a great film. It's from 2009, although most people didn't see it until 2015. This is Tina Mabry's Mississippi Damned.